When it comes to your goals and commitments, are you someone who takes action on what you're thinking, what you want? Or are you just stuck dreaming about the possibilities and what life could be for you? Just think about the last couple of big things that you've actually been excited about. Have you taken action towards your goals, or have you just actually imagined what your life could be like if you were where you wanted to be? Welcome back to another episode of Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. I'm Sanj, your host and coach, dedicated to helping you create a life where thriving isn't just a dream but a reality. I'm here to help you master your mindset so you can master a life where you wake up every day feeling energized, enthusiastic, and excited. And today I'm talking about a commitment check. I'm going to be talking about, are you a doer or a dreamer? Because commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. That was a quote by Abraham Lincoln. When you start to actually commit to something, you actually move things from the possibility to actually it's a probable thing. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about why we struggle to commit and just the two key mindsets that we fall into, dreamers and doers. And so if you're not where you want to be and you're sick and tired of just constantly dreaming and constantly thinking, oh, if only this was the way it was, or oh, imagine what life would be like if it was like this, you're going to get out of this episode some ways to actually transform yourself from a dreamer into a doer so you can start to live with purpose, with joy and fulfillment. And as it's easy to talk about commitment, it's easy to say, oh yeah, I'm going to commit to this. Like, how many times have you promised yourself you'd get fit? How many times have you promised yourself you'd save money or spend quality time with your loved ones? But then all of a sudden life gets in the way and all of a sudden you're making excuses for yourself. I know I've done it, and I can guarantee that at some point, everyone if you're listening to this, you've done it too. A good example, an annual example, is your resolutions. It is so easy on the 31st of December to get all excited, all caught up in the moment. Yeah, okay, new year, new me. But by the end of January, you're there like, yeah, you know what, that new me, gosh, I had such high hopes for them, but yeah, it wasn't working. How many times has that happened to you? New Year's resolutions are great, but you need to have the commitment to them. And that's where we struggle, because the truth is, commitment requires discipline, commitment requires clarity, and commitment requires action. But here's the catch. The world around us is just filled with distractions, with quick fixes, comparison traps, and it makes sticking to your commitments feel overwhelming. When you're sitting there on the 31st of December, how many times have you set yourself the same resolution as you did last year? Only 8% of people actually achieve their New Year's resolutions. Because you're in the moment. You don't have any discipline to think about a plan of action. You don't have any clarity on why you want to achieve that New Year's resolution. And yes, you'll have action for a little while, but again, without the discipline and the clarity, you have no meaning behind it. So you're sitting there, and at that New Year's moment, you're a dreamer. You're a dreamer because, yeah, you want this to happen. You imagine, okay, if I get the six pack, I'm going to be attracting these type of people. Or yeah, if I've got that bikini body, I'm going to be attracting these type of people. I'm going to have this much confidence. I'm going to be able to do X, Y, and Z because I'll be feeling so good about myself. So you're dreaming in that moment. You've got that emotion. You're caught up in that emotion of what could happen, the possibilities. And so you're a dreamer. But until you take that and you start actually doing something, taking action on it, that's all it will be, just a dream. Because the life of a dreamer is full of ambition. It's full of ideas, full of hope. They imagine a better life for themselves. Yeah, you're there thinking like, oh yeah, oh, if I got a new job, if I started my own business, I'd be earning this much a year. And then it sounds really good. But when it comes down to it, yeah, you lack the follow through to make it happen. Dreamers, they live in a someday mindset. It's everything is constantly one day. Yeah, one day I'll start that business, or I'll finally prioritize my health when I have more time. And the thing is then that actually that dreaming, it can feel exciting, but then the problem is, why after it's exciting, that excitement is then followed by frustration. It's followed by self-doubt because then nothing changes. Because the dreamers are stuck in a cycle of planning, but you're not progressing anything, you're not changing anything, you're not doing anything for anything to be different. In relationships, dreamers, they may promise change, more family time, being more present, but are always falling short on execution because all this stuff is just a dream. You're not willing to take the action. And so then that leads to disappointment, tension, and just negativity within the relationship. So just for example, imagine a dad, yeah, who tells his kids he'll take them camping but never follows through. His intentions are good, but over time, those unfulfilled promises create a gap in trust and connection. Yeah. If you're doing this, if you're telling your kids, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take you to X, Y, Z, and you're never doing it, you always find some excuse. Your kids are not going to actually believe it anymore. They're going to get to a point where they're like, yeah, dad, he's always just full of it. Do you want to be that kind of dad? Do you want to be that kind of man? Do you want to be that kind of mum, that kind of person where when you say something, everyone just knows that, yeah, it's all talk. There's nothing going to happen from it. Nothing's going to change. But on the other hand, a doer, that person's going to go places because that person turns intention into action. They may not have figured everything out because the dreamer, yeah, everything sounds good, everything looks good, but unless it's all figured out, it's very hard to actually take action for them. So the doer, though, they don't care if nothing's figured out. They just show up consistently and make progress. Yeah, the doers are living in the now mindset. They're taking small, consistent steps towards their goals, towards their dreams. They understand that actually perfect isn't required effort. They realize that actually they don't need to be motivated. They just need to start to build momentum. And as they start to see progress, they're going to build that motivation as well. Imagine that, such a difference, because yeah, you're showing up, you're not seeing the results, but you just know that actually if you take consistent steps, you're going to get to where you want to be. And then as well, that impacts their happiness, because when doers are experiencing this self of accomplishment and growth because they're taking actions, it fuels your confidence, it fuels your joy. You're not just surviving anymore, you're thriving because you're happy. You're seeing progress, you're moving forward. Progress equals happiness. It's not the pursuit of happiness. It's actually the happiness of the pursuit. Because when you get to your goal, you're happy for a short while, but then you come back down to your baseline level of happiness. But then actually, if you enjoy the pursuit, if you enjoy seeing that progress, you're always going to be happy. You're not going to be living a life where you're just surviving. You're going to be thriving. And in relationships, doers build trust by following through on their commitments. This means that they actually foster deeper connections with everyone around them. Yeah, if you say something to someone, you promise, you show up. Yeah, you don't actually say things and not follow through. And this means that people, when you when you start to say things to people, they're going to have faith that you'll do it. That means they'll start to show up differently as well. So if you're showing up as the best version of yourself, the person on the other side of the relationship will start showing up as the best version of themselves too. Because these small things, when you start to actually do that, when you commit, when you actually follow through, these small acts, it strengthens the bond. Yeah, and it'll actually create better and lasting memories in your relationship. So if you want to actually, if you're sick and tired of being a dreamer, you actually want to see changes in your life. You want to see things actually progress. You want to actually become the person who takes action. If you're sick and tired of always dreaming, here are 2 ways you can transition from a dreamer to a doer. Number 1 is start small and stay consistent. Your big goals feel overwhelming, and which is why so many times it causes you overthinking, paralysis by analysis, because your big goals are just too much. So you will quit before you begin. You'll remain a dreamer. So instead, break down that commitment into small bite-sized steps. When you start to break it down, it'll build momentum. Yes, consistently take action on those bite-sized steps. Build that momentum, and that momentum will build success, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your relationships, your health. Yeah, start small and stay consistent. So, for example, if you want to start eating healthy, you don't have to eat every single meal of the week. You just need to focus on actually eating healthier more times than unhealthy. When you start to see the difference in yourself, you're going to then want to eat healthier even more, and you'll start to build that momentum, and that will actually have a ripple effect in other parts of your life. You're eating healthy, you're feeling better, you're going to be showing up differently in your relationships. You're going to be showing up differently for yourself. You're going to want to start taking more care of yourself. Maybe you're going to start going to the gym more. All of this actually has an effect in every in every area of your life. The second thing you can do to transition from a dreamer to a doer is create accountability. Accountability is a bridge between your intention and action. Share your goals with someone you trust, or just track your progress in a journal to hold yourself accountable. Me, I'm one of the kind of people who I'll print out a workbook a worksheet or a spreadsheet, and I'll just have it in front of me so I can see it every single day, and I'll write down, say, my weight, or if I've been habit tracking, I'll tick off the days where I've been doing it. So tell your family about your goals. Maybe tell a coach, a friend, anyone. Yeah. When you tell them and they support you, they'll help motivate you so that you follow through. So what's one area of your life where you've been dreaming but not doing? One small action that you can take today to change that. Yeah, think about, where do you stand? Are you a dreamer, full of potential but stuck in the someday mindset? Or are you a doer and you're turning intentions into actions and building a life that you love? Remember, commitment isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up and doing the work. Dreams don't work unless you do. You've got everything you need to take that first step. But the question is, are you ready to commit? Thank you for listening to another episode of Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. I really appreciate that you took your time to actually listen, and I hope you got something from this episode. Let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was and what action you're willing to commit to. If you know someone who would benefit from hearing this, please forward it on to them, share it with them. And as always, remember, your mindset determines your reality. Your mindset determines your life. When you master your mindset, you'll master your life. Thank you.